Oh, hello, everyone. How are all of you? Hopefully, you're all doing well. I was thinking as the day went on today that honestly, these are fairly similar to I mean, kind of eased out a little bit and made a little more practical rather than as fantastic as they originally were. But I mean, these are very similar to the various trials that Hercules had to go through. Uh, Although his was also to try and redeem himself rather than make himself worthy of being king. But similar concept. So today we're going to be starting with Ma Blue's Dream. If you were paying attention yesterday, we were on our second trial, which is basically a trial of trying to trade. Yuck Lamont steals herself for the ride to find your next trading partner. Before we get moving, you should be the one to hold this. Then I suppose we should hop on the alpacas Ma Blue has so kindly provided. Ready to go? Let's mount up. And it's off to the mate fields we go. Please don't spit, please don't spit. You'll be fine. These ones are accustomed to people. I still don't trust them. You have a knack for writing no matter what you say. Without our alpaca friends, we Palo would never have become traveling merchants. Can you imagine walking all the way across Toral? I swear, the mountain is too tall to be real. Yorkor Zormor, wasn't that the name? Forbidding sight, isn't it? One I've never appreciated up close. Take the long way around the cliffs to get there to the highlands belong to the Yakoi. So, Mobile, you said you were learning about the peddler profession? You don't care for ranch work? No, I love it. I love working with alpacas. Becoming a peddler has always been a dream of mine. Just, I'm not sure I have the talent for it. If I can help you buy the taming saddle, though, then I'd be proof that I can do this after all. In that case, you'd best get ready to be a merchant. Look, we're almost there. We made it without a single smelly incident. I sent alpacas back to Kuvlo's End, so we'll walk along the main road when we return to the village. Speaking of the roads to travel, you were adopted by the Dawn servant, weren't you? Third promise? That I was. Whereas you understand, I was an orphan too, you see. Tobly took me in. He took in all the ranch hands, actually. All of them? Yes, and everyone works hard at their chores, grateful for the opportunity to repay the head ledger's generosity. Yet here I am, the only one wanting to go off and be a merchant. Sorry, I don't know why I'm telling you this. We need to keep trading things for your saddle if we prepare for the feat of gold. As it's mate harvesting season, they can't have too many quality hatchets. Add to that Yuck Lamont's way with people, and we should have no trouble making a favorable deal. That's Miplu herself over there. Pass the hatch to the third promise, and let's get to bargaining. You have the little axe for me? Thanks, now let's see what we can get for it. You're Miplu, the owner of these fields. I have a mind to trade if you're interested. Oh well, the third promise. I may be convinced to entertain a proposal. What do you have on offer? This hatchet, forged by a seasoned artisan. The razor edge of this exceptional tool will make light work of your crops. The quality is acceptable, I suppose. I offer you a large sack of mate leaves in exchange. A sack of mate leaves is valued at 1 pel in the thousands column, the same price as the hatchet. This deal will bring us no closer to the mescal. If I may, Mistress Miplu, it's harvesting season, is it not? Does not the demand for hatchets afford them a higher value? It is indeed the season, which is why I procured an ample batch of tools well in advance. We've missed the window for demand in that case. We'll have to fall back on connections. Think of it this way. Generous deal will put you in the third promise's good graces. Surely that's worthy of consideration. I do not wish to give offense, but I must tell you that I stand with the second promise. His innovations will improve every aspect of our lives, I believe, including farming, and I will no longer have need of hatchets. I assure you that I have nothing but respect for lumat. That's why I'm prepared to purchase a spare hatchet at a fair price. So as it is fair given your reasons, but we ourselves will be no better off for the transaction. How about this then? If we were to help bring in your harvest, would you give us a better deal? As a matter of fact, I would. Until Koano's reforms come about, I can always use more hands in the fields. Then you can go ahead and add our labor to the bargain. Add value to tip the scales. How could I have forgotten one of the most basic rules of trading? You can rest here if you like, Mablu. Warrior of Light and I have mate to gather. Oh no, I'm helping too. Off to fields then, and mind you pick the healthy leaves. I'll take 5 good bundles from each of you. There was an enemy that I saw as we're coming up here, and I was like, that's actually... I mean, it's not a completely new design for Final Fantasy XIV, but it was actually pretty cool. Brought me some leaves then. Acceptable harvest. We'll see how your companions fared before I make any decisions, though. Here, we brought your share as well. Thank you, third promise. This is more than enough to hold up your end of the bargain. Now it's time to honor mine. After adding the value of your labor to the price of the hatchet, I'm prepared to offer you a full sack of our highest grade mate leaves. Bought at the shop, 1 sack of those leaves would cost no less than 5 pel in the thousands column. So we're halfway there. Then we can bid farewell to this hatchet. I'll give it a good home. Talk the contest aside, I'm glad we could come to a mutually agreeable trade. As am I. All the best with the rest of your harvest. Mablu, what's wrong? As I was saying before, even after everything Tubbly's done for me, I'm planning to abandon it all and become a merchant. But I need your help after forgetting a basic rule of trade. How can I expect Tobly to accept my decision then? Not exactly. I wanted to prove I could succeed as a peddler before I declared my intentions. I seek to follow in my father's footsteps, but not because he expects it of me. I want to preserve Toral's peace and become Dawn Servant. Becoming Dawn Servant happens to be the best way to do it. We should live a life of our own choosing, and I wouldn't be surprised if Tobly held the same opinion, so talk to him. You're right. It's better to find out for sure than worry over what he might say. Thank you for the advice. First, we have a saddle to buy. I want that success under my belt so I can be sure of my decision. What's next then? We try to trade our tea leaves for something halfway to 10,000 pel? No, I think we're close enough now. I say we go straight for the premium mezcal. Burn way into the double the value, eh? Think you can do it? Trust me, I will make this trade work. Admire you, Third Promise. That you're holding your own against such strong competition for the throne is inspiring. Am I really holding my own against Kuana and Zoro Jha? I mean, of course I am. I'm Yak lumat of the Dawn's Promise, after all. You look way too angry. Or, I mean, I look way too angry for that comment. Like, way, way too angry. Yokomon has her eye on a jug of premium mezcal. Before we go, I'll give you the mate leaves. I don't need to risk proving Aaronville's point. Ready then? Our next stop is the Mezcal Distillery. Okay. We'll want to speak with the man by the name of Gobbly. Even among his fellow distillers, he's regarded as a master of his craft. He knows the value of his products, so if we're to convince him to trade for twice what the leaves are worth, we're going to need targeted information. That means asking around and taking in the gossip. If you talk to people here in the distillery, perhaps Yak lumat could do the same at the village entrance. You know, I'll head to the north side and see what I can learn. Me, I'm a chef from Tuliol. I often come here to buy Gobbly's mezcal, the finest Torral, according to my customers. I always bring out a jug during our dealings, but I can't handle the stuff too well myself. Take small sips, not wanting to be impolite, you understand, but still end up so addled as to agree to whatever prices he quotes me. Nice to have less potent refreshments during such conversations. Also, I might have to seriously reconsider our arrangement. Goblin might be deft-handed at selling, but he's got no sense when it comes to appearances. Rumor has it that he's been invited to the palace for business negotiations. If he brings himself to court wearing his usual rumpled attire, though, he'd be laughed out of Sunperch. There's not much I can say about Gobbly, but I can tell you what Gobbly's been saying. The other day he was wondering about monsters prowling around agave jaws. That's a field where they gather ingredients for the mezcal. The presence has made it harder to procure said ingredients, and thus driven up the price of his product. A boon, some might argue, but it's hard to celebrate when it affects the work as it does. Can't rightly bring joy to people if you can't keep making the thing they love. So what did you find out? Oh, we can make use of all these tidbits. This deal is as good as sealed. As for me, I found out where Gobbly is working. There's a millstone at the top of the slope behind the distillery. Go on ahead and I'll bring lumat. I made mistakes. Mistakes had been made. You have business with me? Why don't we talk down below so as not to distract the alpaca from his work? Now, what's this about? Keep it brief, if you would. I'm a busy man. I'm looking for a 3-year-old jug of premium mezcal, assuming you have any on hand, that is. Oh, an excellent choice. I must warn you, though, it doesn't come cheap. We don't have Pel, but we can offer a sack of mate leaves in exchange. It's top-grade stuff, like the mezcal. No deal. Mate leaves are well and good, but I don't have any use for them. No deal, just like that. So, I'd hate to send you away empty-handed. Why don't we sit and chat while over a cup of mezcal? Now the real bargaining begins. Which of our cards do you want to play first? Appreciate your hospitality, but I'm afraid I can't hold my drink. I've heard one of your regular customers, Hobigo chef, is the same. Seeing as not everyone can enjoy mezcal, I wonder if you might benefit from having other refreshments to offer. Something like mate tea, for instance, and brewed from the finest leaves, of course. Ah, you're right, absolutely right. I had noticed a growing reluctance on the part of my Hobigo friend, but not realized I myself was to blame. I must endeavor to be a better host. So, even with that value in mind, no sack of leaves is worth the mezcal you're after. Should we have to call the monsters causing them trouble? No, yeah, we'll keep that card up our sleeve until we need it. It's good you're aware the rite of succession is currently taking place. That's why the third promise has graced us with her presence. When the contest is decided, the subsequent ascension ceremony and the banquet will be a prestigious affair. If your mezcal were to be served there, it would bring your distillery immeasurable fame. Wait, could it be that your rumored invitation to the palace is to discuss that very possibility? As a matter of fact, yes, I must admit, I'm still reeling from the abruptness of it all. It would be a great honor and opportunity if I can secure the deal. Well, I should think your exceptional mezcal would speak for itself. That said, there's no such thing as being too prepared, and first impressions last. You'll want to be wearing your very best when you walk into Volokshunsa. It'd be such a shame to miss the chance of a lifetime simply for one of proper garments. That would. Are you saying you have garments to offer? Something ideal for court? We have no garments on hand, I'm afraid, but we can provide you with the next best thing. Introduction to a weaver. His name is Bull Nock, and his works are highly regarded in Tulial. As a supporter of Yucklamat and keen observer of palace politics, he will doubtless be happy to guide you in the selection of an outfit to fit this golden occasion. That's certainly a tempting proposal, one of which I should like to take full advantage. But the scales still aren't quite balancing. Say, weren't there monsters running amok in Agave Jaws? That's one we could easily solve for you. Truly, I'd be most grateful for your immediate assistance. I was resigned to hiring cell sources to clear them out. Factoring in the saved expense and introduction to a trusted weaver, this is shaping up to be a sound bargain. Alright, you have a deal. Yes, I knew you'd come around. Give us a moment and Tyrion and I will take care of these prowling nuisances. In the meantime, I'll use the time to pen the introductory letter to Bull Nock. The fields you're looking for are just north of Wachinpelo. Be safe. Okay. I don't quite have the gear on my samurai to really deal with anything here. I was taking a look at why I was so weak on my samurai and found that I was using a lot of level 80 and 70 gear for whatever reason. That should be Agave Jaws just over there. This will go faster if we split up. Come and find me once you finish clearing out your share of the pests. I'm sure that's probably true of a lot of the various classes of mine. Sadly, from what I've looked at, it doesn't look like this this expansion is exactly being well received. Mainly because a lot of people are just finding it a little too tame and relaxing in comparison to the other expansions. Which, I mean, even then, most of Realm Reborn's expansion was very tame, rather relaxing, kind of laid back. 2 got real late in the story, and then it became a huge knockout, drag down fight. But it's just like we just went through this whole big story arc of big knockdown, drag out fight where the entire universe was at risk. So, I mean, it's actually good to kind of step back, be a little more down to earth. Compared to the creatures that hunt with Papa, this has no challenge at all. Come on, let's head back to the distillery. All that's left is give Moblu the sack of leaves so she can seal the deal. I mean, just from the initial trailers, the way I viewed this expansion was very much of like the the obligatory anime beach episode. Like every anime has that kind of stupid, kind of out there beach episode. And I mean, that's kind of what, so far, this kind of makes me feel. These monsters were no trouble for you, it seems. Now, if I could just have the sack of leaves. Thank you for looking after our precious trading goods. Your monster round was resolved, Master Gobbly. Here are the mate leaves and a written introduction to Bolnak as agreed. Then the deal is done. Here, your jug of premium mezcal, aged 3 years. Please accept it with my compliments. Yes, we finally have the mezcal. Great work, especially you, Moblu. You're the one who inspired me to come this far, Third Primus, but let's not celebrate until we have the saddle in hand. Moblu, is it? You drive a hard bargain, young peddler. I look forward to doing business with you in the future. Thank you, but truth be told, I'm just a ranch hand for now. Should I ever become a proper merchant, though, I'll be back to strike more deals with you. Hey, Croy! Thank you for the raid. How was stream? Just did roulettes. I mean, those will come to fun. Although I feel like everything just takes 10 times longer to die. Although I read right now where apparently like Circus Tower is busted. Well, Lumat is ready to return to Havli. Apparently in Circus Tower in the Amon fight, at least this was a story I was reading here earlier today, the ice isn't working to block Final Curtain. So the only way to do it is basically to time for one healer of your team to die, and then time rezzing to basically just as it's going off, so that way then the limited immortality keeps you from dying, so you can res the whole team back. Like, the ice is spawning, but it's just being completely ignored, apparently. Even at the palace, I don't think I've held a 10,000 pel jug of anything before. My hands won't stop shaking. Here, you'd better hold on to it until we get to the saddle maker. Can you imagine if we dropped it and had to start all over again? Shut your goddamn mouth. Luckily, Havli's place is not far. We just need to head across the plaza. This is it, the trade we've been working towards. Still in one piece, right. Time to make our deal. Your tools ready, Saddler. We brought your precious mescal. Wait, you actually got your hands on a jug? But you had nothing, a few measly clumps of wool. What we had was an aspiring trader with a gift for negotiation. Although I'd sooner aid no claimant but Zoro Jal, I cannot go against the guiding principles of the Pelu Pelu. Trade is a fair one. I will craft your saddle, third promise. Great. Stay and wait if you like. I have all the requisite materials, so this won't take long. But it's just like any group I get in that has like a bunch of like vipers and pictomancers, it's everything takes absolutely forever. The commission is ready. Catching wild alpaca is never a simple affair, but you'll have an easier time of it with one of my saddles. Now, if you don't mind, I have other work that needs finishing. I can taste that smooth mescal already. We did it! The saddle is ours! And to think we started with only 100-bell basket of alpaca wool. Mablu, you are going to be an incredible merchant. Thank you. It makes me so glad to hear you say that, third promise. We got what we came for, so let's return to the ranch. The others will be waiting. I don't know. I was more interested with the previous feat than... There was a little more action to that one. Although the Pelu Pelu people seem to me are a little more interesting than... I can't remember what they were called. The Hanu Hanu. You've acquired the saddle, then? Yes, and thanks in no small part to Mablu. Before you rush off to catch an alpaca, though, let me teach you how to saddle one. I'll bring out one of our wild-born friends so you can practice. I know, this is something I need to learn. Yeah, you're gonna have to get over your fear of getting spit on by an alpaca. Great singing gods, I did it! He hardly seemed bothered, much less inclined to spit, as if he was completely accepting of Lumat's touch. That's because of the singular scent with which the saddle has been coated. Alpacas find it very soothing. You know, I've never taken a good long look at one of you before, but You're actually kind of cute. You're only noticing that? I don't know. I've seen alpacas in person. I would not call them cute. Or Zerl Jaw, he's back. Got a fucking shiny alpaca. Having done exactly what he set out to do. That alpaca he's brought, is it just me or is it glowing? I've heard tales of such a beast. They say the golden alpaca lives a solitary existence deep in the valley, where it shuns the company of both man and its own kind. How did he manage to snare a prize like that? A beast knows its betters. Faced with overwhelming strength, it will yield rather than risk death. An apt illustration of how greatly the power of the first promise exceeds yours, lumat. Strength alone won't win him our father's throne. I'll be the one to find the Golden City, and then Tyrell can remain at peace. An everlasting desire for peace can only be forged in the fires of war. Although I forgot to jump into voice chat. Nevertheless, to unite as one, the people must be taught. They must suffer the horror and the hopelessness firsthand. Exhaustion from prolonged conflict, the wages of war's merciless nature. These are what moved the clans to join in the founding of Tuliol all those years ago. Consider the younger generation of this village. Since birth have they basked in unbroken harmony, and behold, they regard war not as tragedy, but opportunity. Thus does the resilient son seek to provide education. He offers much-needed lessons in the realities of conquest and a renewed appreciation for peacetime. It is true that war's misery breeds a longing for peace. But I have seen with my own eyes what becomes of an empire forged through the violence you propose, the rebellions it spawned, and the ruins it left behind. The Garlean Empire was a congregation of simpletons. The oppressed fought back against their oppressors, as well they should. Men are not beasts. Only a fool would seek to rule over all with the threat of force alone. This is why Gulul Jah did not elevate the Mumul Jah, why he treated all clans with equal respect. However, the first promise has his gaze fixed upon more distant horizons. He would unite not only Tuliol, but the star in its entirety. What? Why? I need not explain myself to you. Well done indeed. The first promise is to complete the feat of gold with an opportunity with an appropriately golden flourish. May I present to you your much-preserved keystone. He's always been like that, never sharing his innermost thoughts with me or even Koana. It's like we're not even family. Well, I mean, considering that he's actually family by biology rather than adoption, I mean, I can see the psychology of it. I'll ponder Zoral Jah and his mysteries later. Right now I need to make finishing the feat of gold. I have my saddle, I've practiced how to use it, so lead on to where the wild alpacas roam. Valley Oran Konka is northwest of here. Come on, everyone. Even if we can't enter ourselves, we can see Yuklamato off on her hunt. The problem is if you build your empire completely off of conquest, the moment your wars stall, or you Or you just don't have anywhere left to go? Your empire fails. That was one of many problems that the Roman Empire had. Its entire economy was based off of war. When they basically ran out of places to go and conquer, and they didn't, and where they were going to go try and conquer, there wasn't any money. So, no more money to fuel the economy. No more ways to just get rid of people by sending them off to war. And so, you get civil unrest because there's no money flow, there's no economy because your economy was based off of war machines and super cheap labor. Thus, the fall of the Roman Empire. Another famous empire is the British Empire, which very similar to the Garlean Empire, hit a bunch of snags with a bunch of rebellions, which eventually overtaxed it, and with a few successes on the rebel side, eventually collapsed. I can do this. I know I can.
Good luck there, Promise!
Thanks. I'll need it. Truth be told, still not sure about alpacas. I'd rather not go near one if I can help it. But if I'm to rule this nation, then I'll need to learn how to live with them. Tural is their home too. Right. I'm off.
So, shall we head back to the ranch, or...?
I'm staying here.
As will I. Wooklamart is alone in this. The least we can do is stand watch and await her return.
It may be a while yet. Help me pitch the tent.
Trust a gleaner to come prepared for anything.
What's a gleaner?
Someone whose job it is to travel the world and procure uncommon things for their employers. Erenville specializes in finding animals, I believe.
But aren't you a Shitona from Shak Tural? Why did you cross the salt?
When I was much younger, the thought of leaving Tural never even occurred to me. But then, some years ago, my mentor tasked me with a difficult hunt. Something I could never find, she said, so long as I clung to the familiar. She suggested that I leave home, leave Tural, and join the Gleaners of Sharlian. As one of their number, I could experience the world, immerse myself in myriad cultures and customs, see the many faces of nature. And once I had learned what is truly important, I would find that which I seek. My younger self took those words to heart, and off I went to become a gleaner.
Her words alone moved you to leave behind everything you'd ever known? You must have great respect for your mentor.
As it happens, gleaner work was much to my liking, and I all but forgot why I had pursued it in the first place. Yet, events conspired to put me back on the trail I'd abandoned.
Wait, are you saying you were tasked with finding this city of gold?
I was. And though my hunt is now entangled with the rite of succession, I mean to see it through.
Well then, I understand completely. We all have our reasons for seeking the Golden City. Which is all the more reason for us to work together.
Just so.
She should have been back by now. What if something's happened to her? We need to tell Tobli and arrange a search party.
Wait. Do you hear that?
They did it.
How many times did you get spit on?
You're utterly spent, and small wonder.
Well done, Third Promise.
The ranch isn't going anywhere. Take a rest in the tent.
I think I will. Thank you all for believing in me.
So relieved the third promise came back to us safely. And the alpaca she tamed is a healthy-looking beast. Surely this will be enough to satisfy the feat of gold. Knowing the Pelo, Mablu's mind to rush ahead to the village. Lumat still seems a bit unsteady on her feet, hardly surprising after she spent the night chasing alpacas. It won't melt away fatigue like magic, though. Mate tea. I'll run to the ranch and get a pot brewing. That way you can take your time and the tea will be ready when you arrive. Smuggler wisely suggests we shall set at slower pace for our exhausted third promise. Yeah, I'll try and catch that. 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 Came back ahead of the others, did you? I should hurry along with the tea then. Lumat can't be that far behind. Oh, that tea really is magical. I feel better already. See, you become more comfortable around our fuzzy friends. Watching this one taught me a lot about alpacas. What grasses and fruits they eat, what sounds they react to, their adorable little quirks. I guess I've grown kind of fond of them. Welcome back, Third Promise. Accomplished the feat of gold, have you? Yes, there's no mistaking a valley alpaca. I commend you on your success. Well done. Yes, we did it. Although I couldn't find a shiny one like Zorel Jaw did. As far as we had, golden alpacas are born but once every few decades. They are elusive solitary creatures that are rarely seen, much less captured, thanks to their innate physical and magical gifts. Only a single other person is known to have caught one before, that being Galul Jaja himself. Papa was chasing alpacas too? So my grandfather's stories say. It was for the founding of Tulial in a time when the mountain giants Yakoi held our people in thrall. Compelled by their overlords, our forebears would ride their alpaca mounts to the highlands to deliver gifts of food and other tributes. Those were wretched days, to hear grandfather tell it. Then along came the young Galul Jaja, yet unburdened by the mantle of Dawn servant. We were amazed by his imposing two-headed figure, equal to the Yakoi in stature and puzzled by his entourage of mismatched companions. Some trembled in fear, believing a new conqueror had come. Yet Galul Jaja showed no such inclinations. He sat and spoke with us, sipping from the cups of Matai tea we offered him, and grew somber when he learned of our plight. None could have anticipated what their visitor decided to do next. Galul Jaja descended the cliffs to face the giants and freed the Pelu Pelu from the Yakoi's subjugation. He then turned an appraising eye upon our riders and proposed we take to the road to peddle our beverages. The suggestion seemed obvious for one who traveled as he did, intent in fostering amity between the clans. So it was that a few words from Galul Jaja transformed us into a clan of itinerant merchants. I heard the bond Papa forged with the Pelu Pelu spoken of in that way before. The saga is not so detailed. And you may not know that Galul Jaja sought a sure-footed guide for his trek up into the highlands. Thus did he capture a golden alpaca. So both my brother and my father caught the rarest of creatures. Well, an ordinary one was the best I could manage. The feat required no more than that, Third Promise, and you brought back a perfectly wonderful beast. Mablu's right. You're a perfectly wonderful beast. If anyone's ordinary, it's me. Not only did you accomplish the feat of gold, you also made many trades and brought joy to many people in true Pelu Pelu fashion. I sorely doubt your sibling could have achieved the same result. should be proud of the accomplishments which earned you your keystone. So now that's 2 of 7 down. 5 more to go. You're well on your way, third promise. We'd have been lost without you, Mablu. Thanks to you, I learned so much about the Pelo people and your customs. Might seem obvious, but I've come to realize the importance of properly knowing something. It was because I didn't understand alpacas that I was uncomfortable around them. Thankful to you as well, lumat. You've given me the courage to say what I wasn't sure I could ever say. Tubbly, I want to leave the ranch and become a merchant. I appreciate everything you've done for me, and I've loved every moment caring for the alpacas. This is something I need to do. I need to walk my own path and make my own trades. As your parent, allow me to say one thing. I've always tried to give my words lives filled with as much happiness as I could provide. Never once have I wanted that to be the only happiness you knew. You have a blessing to walk any path you choose, Mablu. It gladdens me to hear you found a calling you wish to pursue with such passion. You will make an exceptional peddler, I'm sure of it. Thank you, Tobbly. What did I tell you, Mablu? There's one last thing I can help you with, third promise. You need to find the Golden City, right? That's the end goal. And I suggest you talk to the Yakhoi. They once ruled over far more than just Urkopacha and the Pelu Pelu. 1,000 years ago, they were the warlords of Yogg-Toral and all its peoples. During that era, the Pelu Pelu were commanded to search for a city of gold. They scoured every corner of the continent but never found any trace of that fabled place. But if they didn't find anything, what could the Yakhoi have to tell us? They may not have found it, but the fact that they thought to look for it at all makes me curious. Perhaps there's value in delving into how the legend originated. We lose nothing from asking the questions. Besides, we're determined to follow the path of the saga. We'll be visiting the giants eventually. So I mean, might as well do it now. Okay, I have a question I'm meaning to ask, and since we've finished with feet, where did you acquire that earring? My earring, do you recognize it? Yes, pieces just like it first became fashionable in Yogg-Toral around 20 years ago. Since then, it's common to wear one as a charm for safe travel. 20 years ago, right about the time my grandfather made his journey, yet the Dawn servant replied the earring was connected to the Golden City in some way. Surely there was more to its significance than the simple fashion. When how it first came to be crafted, I could try to find out, seeing as it's a regular seller for many merchants. I'm curious to learn more about it myself. I appreciate that very much, thank you. Shoving feet first into the peddler business, eh, Mablu? Right then, that's 2 keystones down. I said we head back to Tulial and plan our next move. Farewell for now, and thanks for all your help. I will become Dawn Servant, so make sure you set aside your best mescal for the occasion. She has a fearsome opponent, that brother of hers. He even brought a golden alpaca to heal. But you've heard Zerolja's supporters talk. They might see opportunity in expansionist ambitions, but they find the man himself intimidating, terrifying even. Whereas I have grown to love Yuk Lumat. Everyone she meets will come to love her too, and that's why she'll win the throne. She's also a moderate between her 2 brothers. You might be right. Mablu, you might be right. Because on one side you have the hardliner, Zorajah, and then you have the extremely technology-minded, change everything, modernize everything, brother Koana. Whereas she's like, war's not really good long-term run for us. Technology, there might be some of our old ways might just be just as good as some of the technology we might be using or come to use. Feels good to have the feet of gold safely under our belt. Even my victory pales beside Zoro Shaw and his shiny golden alpaca. I know I shouldn't let it bother me, and God knows you've all been so supportive. But I want to be strong or wise like my brothers, to be a promise that people respect. Which is not likely by staying here carrying on and on about things. Let's move on. Back to Zabalia of Tai with us. The contest has hardly begun. No, that was my washer that was going off, saying it finally finished its self-clean. Look at us. The contest is barely begun. We already have 2 keystones. Surely even my talented brothers aren't doing this well. We can only hope. Luckmont is eager to attempt the next feat. We've now won keystones from both the feat of reeds and the feat of gold. Sure, that means our approach to the contest was the right one. So it seemed, by continuing to retrace Gulol Jaw's journey as presented in the saga, we should find the remaining lectors in turn. Let's visit the giants next, like Kryle said. The fact that they were searching the Golden City might mean they know something useful. Not only Yokoi is in the upper reaches of Urkapacha, unless we've been keen on scaling the cliffs, we'll have to take the long way around through Kazamuaka. This route will take us close to the Moblin village, which is another important location in the saga. Since we'll need the keystones eventually, it makes sense to pay them a visit while we're passing through. So we can call on the Moblins first then. Let's head there right now. I'm afraid right now is going to be a problem. The flight of we wingless, the great stairs leading to Moblin settlement collapsed in the storm. What are we to do then? There is an alternative that requires preparation. Until it's ready, you could rest at the cabins or see more of the city, whatever you prefer. Just be sure you'll accept any method of travel as long as it gets us to our destination. Of course, who do you take me for? Then as your guide, I will see to the arrangements. It's going to be a boat, isn't it? Well, it seems we have some free time on our hands. Let's make the most of it. I need to get my axe prepared. I nicked the blade pretty badly when I took the swing at Baku Jaja. Reminds me, I never got around to introducing to Ropley, did I? He's been in charge of Wachu Meki Meki and a good person to know. Want to come along? Let's go then. Ready? The marks of Wachu Meki Meki are to the east, on the other side of Bayside Bevy. Well, onward we go. This is Auntie Till's tacos, named for its owner here, the lovely T-Soul. If you're after the best tacos in Tulial, this place sits at the top with Zabalia of Thai. You say that there, promise, but you only ever eat Brook Ivu's food. Come and buy mine for a change. Sorry, T-Soul, it's been a while, hasn't it? I swear I'll stop by for a bite once the contest is over. My, the third promise. How may I assist you this fine morning? Well, Matt Rapley, I need to buff a nasty nick out of my axe blade. Yes, it's chipped quite terribly. Trying to cleave rocks again, were we? Or something like that. Think you can fix it? You stand among Terrell's most prestigious gathering of artisans and ask this question? 'Tis child's play. We'll have it repaired for you in 2 shakes of an alpaca's tail. Good to hear. I'll leave it in your capable hands. Who's your companion, if I may ask? This is Kirian, a great adventurer I recruited from across the salt. I brought her here to meet you, actually, though she might have a reason to visit Wachu Meki Meki sooner or later. Now, allow me to introduce myself. I am Ropley, humbled representative of this grand center of trade. Pleasure to meet you. You there, stop dithering in the shadows and announce your business already. I've seen that man somewhere before. A jewelry maker you met on the voyage over? Oh, I remember I spoke with him too. Fonjontaine? Yes, that was his name. You've been learning like a flighty admirer who can't pluck up the courage to confess his feelings. Out with it then. Why are you here? That is to say... And we're no closer to solving that enigma. I wonder if we could use someone to talk to. I said we'd go and ask. Let me know by link pro if you find him first. I'm going to guess we do just that. Oh. I would put money on it being down in here. I was close to being right. He was way over here. You're conversing with Master Rapley, but wait. We met before, haven't we? On the ship. You found him? Good. I'll be right there. Why'd you run off like that? Did you have business with Rapley or not? Please, you needn't concern yourselves with my affairs. I'm undeserving of such attention. Undeserving of such attention. Huh? What are you going on about? I beg of you, do not ask me to explain. Do not. Sorry, but the more you tell me not to, the more curious I become. Besides, you look like you need a friend. You are too kind, so be it. I suppose I can share with you a morsel of my misery. Before I came to Tuliol, I worked as a goldsmith at the most prestigious jewelry maker in all of Ulda, S Times Aesthetics. Oh, it started off well enough, but as the days went by, everything began to go wrong. Compared to the masterpieces of my talented colleagues, my products were lacking, mediocre. I lost all confidence. Craving doubt had possessed me, and any veneer of bravado I tried to put forth soon cracked beneath its weight. Thus I take ship, hoping to find a fresh beginning on new shores. As you witness, I lack the courage to even approach a potential employer. Stand before a man wallowing in the wreckage of his ill-spent existence. Alright, then you offered a morsel, then served us the full course. You must have really wanted someone to hear your story. If you like, I could try to give you a few words of advice. Then you have experience with my predicament? Of feeling terribly inadequate compared to your undeniably superior peers? Well, when you put it that way, your brothers? Not me, I'm lumat, third promise of Tuliolio. Daughter of the Dawn Servant. Oh, of course you're a member of the royal family. Please forgive my presumptuousness. What of you? Have you ever measured your work inside of your colleagues and found yourself wanting? How can I not? Should my work not meet the same exacting standards, no new commissions will be forthcoming. What then was the point of my becoming a goldsmith? Looking back, it was my father who inspired me to take up the trade. His exquisite creations brought radiant smiles to the faces of his clients, and I admired him deeply for it. When the course of striving to be as great a goldsmith as him, I lost sight of my original motivation. All I ever wanted was to spread joy through my craft as he did. Perhaps I will give this one last try. Thank you both for reminding me of what is truly important. What is truly important? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to ignore you. Yes, I'm glad to see Fontaine is giving himself another chance. Everyone wonders how Fontaine is getting on. I can't help but wonder if Fontaine will follow through. Let's see if he's actually gone to talk with Ropley. It was kind of you to come, but you needn't worry, I found my courage. Pray accept my apologies for my earlier behavior. My name is Fontaine, and I am goldsmith for Ulda in faraway Orzia. I realize this is a bold request, but I should like to continue practicing my trade here in Wachumeki if you will have me. I just want the opportunity to bring happiness to others with my creations. So that's what it was about. You were looking for work. Stage of hired. Wachumeki is always in need of skilled craftsmen and women. I'll hand you the necessary paperwork. Can you start tomorrow? Yes, of course. I must thank you both again for your sage and timely advice. Don't know that I was all that helpful. Well, you were. Had you not come to speak with me, I would not have had that moment of much-needed self-reflection. The arrangements have been made. Come and meet me at the entrance of High Tide Harbor. Oh, I almost forgot. Do you have my axe ready, Ropley? Ready and waiting, behold, the sublime touch of Wachumeki artisan. It's a sharp and deadly as the first day I held it. Thank you. Well, good luck to you, Fonfontaine. Let me know if that doubt creeps back in. I'd be happy to talk you out of it. As for us, we should head for the harbor. Wouldn't want to keep Aaronville waiting. No, we wouldn't. Enough secrecy. What's this big plan of yours? Look there. That is my big plan. Barge. What is that? It's a penalty. She'll be pulling our boat upriver. How do you know she won't thrash about and sink us instead? They're gentle and timid creatures for the most part. She's unlikely to cause a fuss unless we give her reason to. First alpacas, now punatais. We're relying a lot on animals for this journey. We should be thankful we have an animal expert as our guide then. But did it have to be in my old nemesis, another boat? Well, I took you for someone who was up to the challenge. Was I wrong? Long ago, when fighting still raged between the clans, the inhabitants of Kazumoaka rode these riverboats to move swiftly through hostile territory. The vessels will see little use with Corral now at peace, so I was able to borrow one of the few which remain. I did consider a dirigible, but the pilots warned me that the updrafts near the falls would make landing difficult. You said you borrowed one, yet there appear to be several on the water. Kuana. Lamati, traveling up the river, I presume? Seems that way. Does this mean you've earned 2 Kisuns already? Can't believe how well you've managed despite undertaking the contest alone. I was never alone. I've had my own entourage with me since the beginning. My friends, it's been, well, not that long. Thancred, Orange, what are you doing here? Escorting a promise, the same as you. Very much of the incomparable archons during my time at the studium. As soon as the contest was confirmed, I thought who better to recruit to my cause. I contacted the scholar who arranged an introduction to these 2 gentlemen. The second promise had specific requirements. They who would be his assistants must both proven survival skills and mastery of the arcane arts. Thus, Thancred and I received the summons. My own studies concentrate on technology which our people could readily use. Such inventions born of magitech or clever engineering. Where magic was concerned, I covered only the foundation. Knowing you 2, I expect you had other reasons for accepting the job. Few. The nation of Tulial spans an entire continent. One who wins the throne, the world may be plunged into instability once more. Ever have we striven to preserve peace? Where is our place, if not here and now? We did our due diligence, of course, and made sure of who we were working with before agreeing to this endeavor. He's even more opaque than Orange at times, but is surprisingly... It's quite enough of that. We must be on our way. Wait, I have one question before you leave. Kuana and Lumat are vying for the throne. As Kuana's entourage, does that mean you've resolved to defeat all his opponents, including us? We're certain to do all in our power to win this contest for Kuana, even if it means competing against our own comrades. We intend to hold nothing back and expect you to do the same. And we won't disappoint you. I thought you were taking a boat. Even if you have been forced to travel in water, then the others will be doing the same. I'd rather walk than risk confrontation on a leaky barge with no possibility of retreat. It's true that I can't stand boats, but I trust the route Erenville has chosen for us. Leave the handling of the Puma Tea to me. Should other wildlife attack us, however, I may have difficulty keeping her under control. Do your best to draw them away, as far from the front of the boat as possible. Then we shall remain on deck and stand guard, although it may be wise to have at least one of us up front with Erenville, just in case. I'd like to stay on the deck. I'm eager to put my pictomancy to the proof. I'll take any chance to show you that I can hold my own on the battlefield. Then Kral will stand on guard with Warrior of Light. I'll keep Erenville company then. With my blade, I can respond more quickly to threats than Alphino. Thank you. If a fight breaks out, I'll try to stay out of your way. And I shall endeavor to provide aid where it is needed. I can do that as well. That should cover most eventualities. Secure out your gear and board the boat when you're ready. Let the hunt begin. Well, we finally unlocked the first dungeon. Oh, that popped faster than I thought it was going to. Yeah, I guess I really shouldn't be that surprised. Although, they did bring out 2 DPS classes, so pretty much insta-queuing as a DPS should not be a thing. Yes, come closer. We have something for you. This is not going to plan. We'll just have to improvise. The harness. I missed a treepy. I think I should be safe right here. Nope, not quite. I don't know what you're spitting, but I don't want to be anywhere near in front of you. It is a pretty view there. Made me think of the Mantis bosses from Secret of Mana. Guess I'm the only one who hadn't done it before. Oh, I didn't realize I was still standing in shit.
This is as far as we can go on foot, it seems. We'll have to head back and see about fixing the boat.
Hey! Everyone all right?
Yeah, they fixed the boat while we were doing all that. I was worried we might not catch up to you. These caravans were traversed were dug by the Yakoi. I'll appreciate the lesson, O wise guide. Are we landing the boat anytime soon? Our river journey is almost over. For proof of that, you need only look ahead. The falls were impressive enough from a distance, but it's almost too much now. Yes, amazing. Now please let me off. No, no more boats. Are you? Oh, you're not all right. I should surprised she was. Even without the nausea, we're all spent. There's a mountain shelter nearby, a resting spot for those who've ascended the stairs. I suggest we make use of it. That'd be a welcome respite. Have you the strength for a short walk, lumat? We can rest along the way, too. Damn it all. A promise is meant to lead from the front, not mule and moan like a sick kitten. We've all been there before. Lumat? Ignore me. It's nausea talking. I'm fine. Really. Lead on. I'll follow. Very well, but if I might say one thing. Just because you're a promise or a claimant for the throne doesn't mean you can't be seen to struggle. You needn't bear this burden alone, so please don't hesitate to talk to us. We're always willing to lend an ear. But Crow, You as well? I've always believed this is my problem alone, but perhaps you have the right of it. Alright, I'll talk about things. Just give me a moment to collect my thoughts. Of course, as long as you need. We'll be waiting at the shelter when you're ready. I've long felt that I could never tell anyone when I was confused or hurting. That admitting to weakness would bring shame to Papa's name. If you say you're willing to listen, then there are things I'd like to talk about. Come on, let's catch up to the others. First things first, let's attune. We should stop here for the night. I understand the desire to rush ahead, but we need to recuperate from our punishing river adventure. And let's all end. We'll need a cook fire. There's some meal preparation to be done.
I've been meaning to ask, but how does one become the adopted child of the Dawn Servant?
It is a good question. I was kind of curious about that myself.
I was but a ball of fuzz at the time, so I don't remember much. My earliest memories are of life in the palace. All I know is that I was born in Ikbrash, a village in Yaktel. But I've never bothered to return there. As far as I'm concerned, Ulul Jaja is my only parent.
I quite understand. I have no memories of my birth parents either. For a while, I wanted to learn who they were. But over time, that curiosity waned. Galuf was my dear grandfather, and he was all I needed.
So our situations were quite similar. Even though Papa already had a trueborn son, he raised me and Kona with no less love. One time, I'd wandered off alone into the forest and gotten lost. Before I became a meal for some beast, Papa dropped everything and came to my rescue. I was scared and sobbing and ready for a scolding. but the head of Resolve praised me for surviving the ordeal. I did get my lecture from the head of Reason, though. He went on and on about the dangers of the jungle and all the horrible ways I could have died. Growing up, Papa was kind and patient, but a tyrant when it came to training. Now, of course, I realize he was preparing me for my duties as a promise. For all the good it did. There's so much I failed to learn about my own country. Whether it's alpacas or Ihihana, I hardly know anything. I've lived such a sheltered life, yet convinced myself I understood Tural and its people. I don't have Kona's education, or Zoralja's strength. I'm all bluff and bravado, not fit to bear my title. Don't compare myself to my siblings, you mean?
Nope, you can't.
I think I see what you're saying. My reasons for joining the contest have nothing to do with my brothers. It's always been about the Turali and what I can do for them.
You said it yourself. How important it is to properly know something. To hear the voices of others, empathize with how they feel, and think how best to serve. In so doing, you'll come ever closer to being the person you wish to be.
I'm sorry, everyone. I've been a fool.
We all have
From this
moments like
moment
that.
on, I'll stop trying to be the promise I'm not. I won't feign strength to hide my weaknesses. Step by step, I'll learn all there is to know and love about Tulihyolal and my fellow Turali. It might not be the smoothest path, but it'll be a path of my own making. I will find a city of gold for all of us, along with the answers you seek about your grandfather, Kryl. I swear.
I appreciate it, Wuklumat. But you needn't take on that burden as well. Galuf Baldessian dedicated his life to protecting people from all manner of threats. As his granddaughter, I wouldn't wish to endanger others for the sake of a personal investigation. So let's just concentrate on winning the contest. We have a shared goal, and, if at all possible, I'd rather we enjoy the journey.
Hear, hear. We are companions on the same road, bound for the same destination. With our combined talents, nothing will stop us from reaching the Golden City.
Thank you. Thank you all. I am proud to call you my friends. Thank you. Thank you all. I am proud to call you my friends.
They seem to be enjoying themselves. Are you sure you don't want to go and say a word to your sister?
Nay, there is no need for that. But what of you two? Lumat's allies are your comrades. It must feel strange to be rivals.
Helping you has made us rivals, aye. But we're not about to break into fisticuffs over it. Unless, of course, it is a matter of winning or losing the contest. Then I'll have no qualms about putting Alizé on her rear.
Despite our long history, never have I been given the chance to test myself against our companions. The thought stirreth within me a most unexpected sense of competition.
Lamachi has surrounded herself with distinguished figures indeed. One of the Studium's finest graduates, the head of the students of Bardessian. And then there's Eorzea's vaunted champion. If she's half the hero you say, then the odds are stacked against us. Not that I've any intention of bowing out. Our time in Urkelpacha only served to strengthen my resolve. We saw how a single storm cut off the alpaca roots and threw my people's lives into disarray. Such uncertainties are why I advocate for the adoption of Sharlayan innovations, that Tuli Yolal might know greater stability and prosperity. Our nation can change for the better. And I will be the man to change it.
Well, it's a start. I imagine your experiences on this journey, all the things you'll hear and feel and think, will help you refine
God damn it,
that approach.
not that again. I do not want to hear that chant over and over again.
But to return to
Learn
the subject
something
of the
new.
rite, I'm a touch concerned by the condition for victory. The claimant who breaks the seal becomes Dawn Servant, not the one who performed the 7 feats first.
The would-be victor need only possess the 7 keystones.
That is correct. As the contest wears on, we must brace ourselves for greater conflict.
Your rivals still lag behind. The second and third promise may have recruited competent lackeys, but none compared to you. How can they hope to compete with the resilient son? The only child ever sired by a two-head. Only the ignorant or foolish could fail to see that you were born to be Dawn's servant.
Such titles mean nothing.
I neglected to mention, when I first heard the rumors that the contest involved the Golden City, I spoke in confidence with Gulul Jaja's inner circle. They all agreed on one thing. Whoever reaches the City of Gold will attain a power so great, it can dictate the course of history. If this power truly exists, then I humbly beg a fair share of it. Time is passing, and I would put my plans in motion without delay. The useless tool is cast aside after all. And just so there is no misunderstanding, you consent to this course, no matter who is made to suffer.
In battle, everyone bleeds. The Dawn's promise is no exception. What better lesson to teach our people the folly of war?
I was hoping for a good scrap, but this bloated sack of bile was no challenge at all. I wonder if the house cat is dead yet. Be a shame to lose a plaything, but we'd still have two more.
If I may ask, Chosen One, what are your plans for Tuliolal after you take the throne?
Plans? What makes you think we care about all that? We care only about the contest and proving our superiority. That would surely please Mother and Father. Yes, and when we become Dawn's servant, we'll drive out the weakling masses and invite our kin to live in the city. Fine idea! Our family deserves better than that rotten jungle. Back to it then. We must catch up to that one-headed pretender and remind him of the natural order.
I made it.
Ah, you're about to probably get knocked back down.
I thought we were missing someone. Where have you been?
Oh, I feared I was done for when I fell from the boat. Yet, somehow I made it. Oh, my arms, I can barely lift them. If I could just rest a moment.
You expect us to wait for you? Those who can't keep up will be left behind. My brother has spoken. March, or be fodder for the beasts.
But I followed the teachings. Everything I've done, everything I've sacrificed, all has been for the blessed seedlings. Wait. Don't leave me behind! I'm begging you!
Being able to see those things has brought me such relief. It's like a stone has been lifted off my chest. I can take a full breath at last. I want to encumber myself like that again. I want to be better, will be better, for myself and for my people. And so, with that, that's where we'll stop here for tonight. We'll be back tomorrow night with more of something. Till then, though, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.